The 247 westbound's running 40 minutes behind, which means I'm filling out delay paperwork in the dispatch shack instead of doing my actual job. Randy's supposed to handle this shit. He's the yard supervisor, but he called in sick again. 3rd time this month. Probably hungover. I don't blame him. I'd drink too if I had to deal with the new safety compliance forms every time a train so much as coughs. I'm on page 4 of 6 when my radio crackles. Dispatch, this is engine 4401. We got a problem. That's Darnell. He's been running freight for 32 years. Never calls in a problem unless it's actually a problem. I dropped the pen. Go ahead, 4401. We're getting vapor readings from the tanker string. Car TILX 31549. The one you had us couple at Bridgeport. I pull up the manifest on the computer. The Dell that's been limping along since 2015. Takes 40 seconds to load anything. TILX 31549. Chlorine trifluoride. That's the one that had the inspection flag in Harrisburg. Randy told me corporate cleared it for transport. What kind of readings? Trace chlorine. Vapor detectors going off every time we hit a curve. The freezing rain's hammering the shack roof. Sounds like someone dumping gravel. Been coming down for 3 hours now. Temperature dropped to 28 degrees around midnight. Everything's coated in ice, the tracks, the catwalks, the coupling mechanisms. Perfect conditions for a leaking tanker to turn into a real disaster. Can you isolate it? We're trying, but we got 18 tankers in this string, and the coupling's frozen solid. We'd need to bring it into the yard, detach the whole section. I look at the yard map on the wall, the laminated one with coffee stains from 1997. Track 7's open. Track 9's got the maintenance engine. Track 11, that's where my brother Tommy's working tonight. He's doing tie replacement on the south end. Started at 11, should be wrapping up around 4. It's 2:51 now. Bring it to track 7. I'll get the hazmat team ready. Copy that. ETA 15 minutes. I grab my jacket, the Carhartt that's got a rip in the left elbow from catching on a boxcar door last month, and head outside. The freezing rain hits my face like needles. Everything's slick. I nearly go down on the first step, catch myself on the railing. That's when I see Vic and Patterson by the fuel depot. Vic I can tolerate. He's lazy, spends half his shift smoking menthols by the parts shed. But he knows the yard layout better than anyone. Patterson's different. Patterson's the guy who filed a grievance against me last year because I wrote him up for leaving a switch unlocked. He's technically competent, but he's got this attitude, like the rules don't apply to him because he's been here since '09. I need both of them tonight. Patterson, we got an incoming chemical leak. Track 7. Get the hazmat gear from the equipment shed. Patterson looks at me like I just asked him to donate a kidney. It's 2:50 in the morning. Where's Randy? Randy's not here. I am. Get the gear. This another one of your made-up emergencies? Like last month when you made us evacuate for that diesel spill that turned out to be rainwater. The vapor detectors are going off, Patterson. Move. Vic's already heading toward the shed. Patterson takes his time, makes sure I see him taking his time. This is what I'm working with. I radio Tommy. Track maintenance. This is dispatch. Static. Then, yeah, go ahead. We got a chemical transport coming into track 7. You're on track 11, right? South end, yeah. Replacing ties near the junction. I need you to clear out for the next hour. Just precautionary. I'm almost done here. Give me 10 minutes. Tommy, 10 minutes. I got 3 more ties to bolt down. If I don't finish tonight, they're gonna make me come back tomorrow on my day off. That's Tommy. Stubborn. Gets it from our dad, who worked this same yard for 40 years before his lungs gave out. Dad never left a job unfinished either. Fine. 10 minutes. Then you're out of there. Copy. The westbound's headlight appears through the freezing rain. Looks like a fuzzy yellow smear in the distance. Darnell's bringing it in slow, maybe 5 miles per hour. That's good. Last thing we need is a hard break that could rupture the tanker completely. Vic comes back with 2 hazmat suits and respirators. Patterson's got 1 suit, holding it like it's radioactive. These are the ones from 2018. Patterson says. They're probably expired. Then we won't lick them. Put it on. The train's getting closer. I can hear the wheels now. That rhythmic clack-clack that means everything's normal, everything's under control. Except the manifest on my clipboard says TILX 31549 is car number 7 in the string, and chlorine trifluoride doesn't just leak. When it hits moisture, like say freezing rain, it turns into hydrofluoric acid, the kind that dissolves concrete and bone. I'm pulling on the hazmat suit when the train enters the yard. Darnell's got the engine crawling now, maybe 2 miles per hour. The tankers follow, each one identical, white cylindrical containers covered in ice, hazmat placards barely visible through the frozen coating. That's when I see it. Car 7. TILX 31549. There's something wrong with the bottom seam. Even from 50 feet away, I can see it. A dark stain spreading across the white paint. Not rust, not oil, something else. Something that's eating through the protective coating and leaving bare metal underneath. And the bare metal's pitted, like acid corrosion but fresh, still spreading. Vic, you see that? Vic's got the respirator on. His voice comes out muffled. That's not vapor. That's active leakage. Patterson's staring at it too. For once, he's not arguing. The tanker rolls past us, moving toward track 7. There's liquid dripping from the seam. Not much, maybe a cup every 10 seconds, but it's hitting the frozen ground and steaming. Little wisps of vapor rising into the freezing rain. Darnell brings the whole string to a stop. The tanker's now sitting about 30 yards from where we're standing. Close enough to see the drip, drip, drip. Close enough to smell something chemical and wrong cutting through the rain. My radio. Dispatch, we're stopped. What's the call? I should tell him to back it out. Take it somewhere else. Somewhere not my yard, not my responsibility, not 30 yards from where my brother's bolting down railroad ties. But the manifest says this shipment's hazard class 2.3, toxic gas. Moving it means dragging a leaking chemical weapon through residential areas between here and the next yard, which is 40 miles east, through Millbrook and Riverside Crossing. Stand by, engine 4401. I look at Vic and Patterson. We need to get a containment tarp under that leak. Neutralize whatever's already on the ground. Then we can assess if it's safe to move. Patterson, or we could let corporate handle this. Call it in, let them send their specialists. Their specialists are 3 hours away in Pittsburgh. That tanker could rupture completely in the next 20 minutes. Not my problem. It is if the acid cloud reaches the residential zone. That's 800 people downwind. Patterson doesn't have an answer for that. We approach the tanker. The hazmat suits make everything harder. The thick rubber gloves, the respirator fogging up, the rain hammering the hood. I'm carrying the containment tarp, 40 pounds of acid-resistant polymer that's supposed to create a barrier between the leak and the ground. Vic's got the neutralizing agent, sodium bicarbonate, basically industrial baking soda. Patterson's hanging back with the backup respirator. We're 10 feet from the tanker when I notice the puddle. It's not steaming anymore. The liquid's pooled under the car, maybe 3 feet across, dark and viscous. Too thick for chlorine trifluoride. Wrong color too. Chlorine compounds run clear or pale yellow. This is darker, almost brown. Vic sees it same time I do. That's not the tanker leak. What? The tanker drips over there. He points to a smaller pool 2 feet away, still steaming, eating into the frozen ground. This is something else. I get closer. The dark pool's not steaming, not eating through anything, just sitting there, thick and wrong. It looks like blood. But it can't be blood because we're in a rail yard. There's no one here except us and Darnell up in the engine cab and Tommy down on track 11. And something moves in my peripheral vision. I turn. There's someone standing between the tanker cars. Just standing there in the freezing rain, no coat, no hat. A man, maybe 50, wearing what looks like a dispatcher uniform from another yard. He's not moving, just standing there staring at us. Hey, I call out. You can't be here. This is a hazmat situation. The man doesn't respond, doesn't move. Vic, is that one of the Bridgeport crew? I don't know. Hey, identify yourself. The man takes a step forward. That's when I see his face clearly. His skin's wrong gray almost. His eyes are bloodshot, completely red. And his nose is bleeding. Not dripping, pouring. Blood running down his chin, soaking into his collar. "Sir, are you injured? Did you come in contact with the chemical?" He takes another step. His movements are stiff, jerky, like his joints don't bend right anymore. "Patterson," behind me. "What the fuck is wrong with him?" The man opens his mouth. No words come out, just this wet, clicking sound, like he's trying to speak but his throat's full of fluid. Then he collapses, just drops, straight down, hits the ground hard enough that I hear his head crack against the frozen earth. I'm moving before I think about it. Training kicks in, injured worker, potential chemical exposure, need to assess and stabilize. I cover the distance in 5 seconds, drop to my knees beside him. "Sir, can you hear me? Sir." His eyes are open, still moving, but he's not breathing. His chest isn't moving at all. I check for a pulse. His neck's cold, too cold, like he's been outside for hours, not minutes. "Vic, call for medical. Now." Vic's fumbling with his radio. Patterson's just standing there. The man's eyes lock onto mine. They're still moving, tracking, focusing. But he's not breathing and his heart's not beating, and that's impossible. His hand shoots up and grabs my wrist. I try to pull back, but his grip's like steel. His fingers are digging into my hazmat suit, through the rubber, into my skin. His mouth opens wider and that clicking sound gets louder, more insistent. "Let go. Let." He pulls me down toward him. His other hand comes up, reaches for my face mask. His fingers are leaving smears on the clear plastic, dark, viscous smears that look like the puddle under the tanker. Vic grabs me from behind, yanks me back. The man's grip breaks and I stumble backward, fall on my ass in the freezing rain. The man sits up, just sits straight up like someone pulled a string attached to his spine. No effort. Flat to sitting in one smooth motion that bodies don't make. The man's looking at us now, all three of us. His head swivels with that same jerky motion, like a security camera panning. Blood's still pouring from his nose, but now it's coming from his ears too. His eyes. Every orifice is leaking blood. And then I see it. On his neck. A dark, lumpy mass under the skin. It's moving, pulsing, getting bigger. "Back up," I say. "Everyone back up right now." We're moving backward when the mass bursts. Not like opening, like an explosion. A chunk of his neck just detonates outward, firing tissue and blood across 6 feet of frozen ground. I see it happen in perfect clarity, the skin bulging, splitting, and then this dark projectile shooting out like it was fired from a gun. The projectile hits the tanker behind us, punches a hole clean through the steel wall. The man's still sitting up, still looking at us. The hole in his neck's the size of my fist. I can see bone, vertebrae, but he's not falling over, not bleeding out like he should be. He's trying to stand. His legs aren't working right. They're bending wrong, joints going directions they shouldn't. But he's trying. He's getting his feet under him, pushing up. Another mass appears on his thigh. Same dark lump, same pulsing growth. Run. We run. All three of us sprinting back toward the dispatch shack. My boots slip on the ice. I nearly go down. Catch myself. Behind us I hear it. Another detonation. Then another. Wet impacts against metal. I risk a look back. The man's on his feet now. He's missing half his chest. I can see ribs, exposed muscle. But he's walking, following us. That same jerky, wrong motion. And there are more of them. 3 more figures emerging from between the tanker cars. All moving the same way. All bleeding from every opening. All with those dark masses growing under their skin. Vic's screaming into his radio. "Medical emergency. Track 7. Multiple casualties. We need." One of the figures stops. Stands completely still. Then his entire torso explodes. Not one mass. Dozens. Maybe hundreds. They detonate simultaneously, firing in every direction. I see one punch through a boxcar window. Another hits the ground near my feet, leaves a crater in the frozen earth. The figure collapses. What's left of him collapses, but the others keep walking. We reach the dispatch shack. I slam the door behind us, throw the bolt. Patterson's hyperventilating in the corner. Vic's still trying to reach someone on the radio, but all we're getting is static. My hands are shaking. I look down at my hazmat suit. There's a tear in the left glove. Just a small one. Maybe from when the man grabbed me. Maybe from something else. And there's blood on it. Dark, viscous blood that wasn't there before. I touched him. When I checked his pulse. My bare skin, no, the glove protected me. The glove. The tears right across my palm. Right where the man's fingers dug in. Dispatch, this is engine 4401. We're seeing people on the tracks. They're not responding to horn signals. Dispatch, respond. Darnell. Still up in the engine cab. He can't see what's happening from there. He doesn't know. I grab the radio. My voice comes out steady. Training. Engine 4401. Do not exit the cab. I repeat, do not exit the cab. We have a contamination situation. Copy that. Should I back the train out? I look out the shack window. The figures are closer now. 4 of them. Moving between the tankers. One's dragging his left leg. It's been mostly blown off below the knee, but he's still walking. Still heading toward us. And behind them, coming down the tracks from the east. From track 11. From where my brother's working. I see a flashlight beam bouncing through the freezing rain. Tommy. Tommy, this is dispatch. Stop where you are. Do not come toward track 7. Static. Then, what? I can barely hear you. I'm wrapping up here. Stop moving. Stay on track 11. Lock yourself in the maintenance shed. Now. What the hell's going on? I watch the flashlight beam through the window. The still coming closer. Tommy's walking toward us. Toward them. There's been a chemical exposure. Multiple casualties. You need to shelter in place until hazmat response arrives. The flashlight stops. Casualties? What kind of casualties? How do I explain what I just saw? A man whose neck exploded like a claymore mine? People walking with half their torsos blown out? Just trust me. Get to the maintenance shed. Lock the door. Don't let anyone in. Anyone? There's only supposed to be us out here tonight. I know. Just do it. The flashlight beam changes direction. Starts moving east, back toward track 11. Thank Christ. He's listening. Patterson's sitting on the floor, back against the wall. His respirator's off. His face is pale. What the fuck were those things? I don't know. That guy's chest I know. Vic's at the other window looking toward the tankers. They're not moving anymore. The 4 of them. They're just standing there. I look. He's right. The figures have stopped about 20 yards from the shack. Just standing in the freezing rain. Blood pooling around their feet. Those masses still growing under their skin. I can see the bulges even from here. Dozens of them. Covering their arms, their legs, their faces. Dispatch, this is engine 4401. I've got movement on the south side. Someone's climbing on the tanker string. I grab the radio. Can you see who it is? Negative. But they're moving wrong. Real jerky. And I think, yeah, I'm seeing vapor from the leak point. It's getting worse. The tanker, TLX 31549, with the chlorine trifluoride still dripping out. And now someone's climbing on it. 4401, do not exit the cab. Keep your windows sealed. Copy. But that vapor's spreading. It's coming this way. I check the wind. Coming from the west. Blowing east. Toward Tommy's position. My radio again. Dispatch. I'm in the maintenance shed. What now? Stay there. We're working on containment. Working on. What the hell happened out there? Chemical leak from the tanker. Some of the Bridgeport crew got exposed. Bridgeport? There's no Bridgeport crew scheduled tonight. I checked the board before my shift. I pull out my clipboard. The crew manifest for the westbound. It lists Darnell as engineer. No other crew members. The train should have been unmanned cars behind the engine. Darnell, this is dispatch. Did you pick up any personnel at Bridgeport? Negative. It was an automated coupling. No one came aboard. Then who? Patterson cuts in. They were already here. Those people. They were already in the yard when the train arrived. That's impossible. I would have seen them on the security cameras. When's the last time you checked the cameras? I don't have an answer for that. The camera system's old. Half the monitors show static. I usually just monitor the dispatch radio and the track signals. Vic's voice is quiet. What if they came in on an earlier train? What if they've been here for hours? Then where were they? There's nowhere to hide in this yard except… I stop. Look at the map on the wall. Track 9. The maintenance engine. It's been parked there for 3 days waiting for parts. Empty boxcars coupled behind it. Maybe 30 cars total. Empty. Supposedly empty. Patterson sees where I'm looking. No. No way. I did the inspection on those cars Wednesday. They were empty. You inspected all 30? Most of them. The ones I could access. Which ones couldn't you access? He doesn't answer. My radio. Dispatch, I've got visual on track 9. The maintenance engine. I'm seeing movement in the boxcars. Lots of movement. The doors. The boxcar doors are opening. One by one sliding aside. And figures are climbing out. Not 4 anymore. Not 10. Dozens. They're dropping onto the tracks, onto the frozen ground. All moving with that same jerky motion. All bleeding from every orifice. The freezing rain's washing the blood away as fast as it flows, creating dark streams across the yard. Vic, where the hell did they all come from? I'm looking at the manifest on my clipboard. The Bridgeport pickup, TLX 31549. The inspection flag from Harrisburg. Randy told me corporate cleared it for transport. Randy, who called in sick, who hasn't answered his radio all night. Patterson, where's Randy live? What? Why does that? Where does he live? Bridgeport. Why? Bridgeport, where the train picked up the leaking tanker, where there's no crew scheduled but somehow people got on board. My phone's in my pocket. I pull it out, dial Randy's number. It rings, goes to voicemail. Randy, this is dispatch. Call me back immediately. We have a situation. Patterson's looking at me. You think Randy's infected? I think Randy knew that tanker was leaking. I think corporate told him to route it through our yard because Bridgeport failed the inspection. And I think whatever leaked out up there did this. That's insane. You got a better explanation for 30 infected people hiding in our boxcars? He doesn't. The figures are spreading out across the yard now. Some heading toward the dispatch shack. Others moving toward the active tracks. Toward where the westbound's still sitting with Darnell in the cab. Engine 4401, you need to move that train. Now. Move it where? I've got tankers leaking behind me and those things in front of me. Back it out. Take the whole string back east. That'll take me through Millbrook. There's no one in Millbrook at 3 in the morning. Move the train. Static. Then copy. Backing out now. I hear the engine rev up. The westbound starts rolling backward, away from the contaminated figures, away from the yard, away from track 7. But the movement triggers something. The figures all turn at once, that same jerky head swivel motion, and start moving faster. Not running. Can't run with their destroyed legs, but faster. One of them's close enough that I can see his face clearly through the window. His jaws hanging wrong, dislocated, maybe broken. The masses under his skin are everywhere now. His arms look like they're wrapped in dark tumors. And as I watch, one of the masses on his shoulder splits open. Get down! We drop. The projectile punches through the window, crosses the shack at head height, embeds itself in the wall behind Patterson's chair. If he'd been standing, we can't stay here, Vic says. They're going to swarm this building. Where are we supposed to go? The equipment shed. It's steel reinforced. Better protection than this plywood shack. He's right, but the equipment shed's 100 yards east. Through the open yard. Through where those things are spreading out. Patterson, we'll never make it. We will if we move now before they surround us. My radio. Dispatch, this is Tommy. I can see them from the maintenance shed. Christ, there's dozens of them. What are they? Stay in the shed, Tommy. Don't open the door for anyone. One of them's trying my door handle. Don't open it. I won't. But this door's just a padlock and a latch. If they really want in. Another explosion outside. I risk a look through the broken window. The figure with the dislocated jaw has collapsed. Most of his torso's gone, blown out from the inside. But 3 more are taking his place. Getting closer. We're moving. Vic. Patterson. You ready? Vic's got his respirator back on. Patterson's just staring at the projectile embedded in the wall. It's the size of a golf ball, dark and dense. Not metal. Organic. Made of compressed blood and tissue, and I don't want to think about what else. Patterson. He snaps out of it. Nods. We go out the east door. Stay low. Run for the equipment shed. Don't stop for anything. What about Tommy? Tommy's safer where he is than with us. We get to the shed, we can coordinate from there. I'm reaching for the door when my palm starts burning. Just a sudden, intense heat in my left hand. Like I grabbed a hot pipe. I look down. The cut from earlier where the hazmat glove tore, it's bleeding. Not heavily. Just a slow seep through the bandage I wrapped around it. But the blood's dark. Too dark. Vic sees my face. You okay? Let's move. I throw open the door. The freezing rain hits us immediately. We run. The yard's a maze at night. Rails crossing rails, switches and signals. Equipment scattered everywhere. I know every inch of it, but running in a hazmat suit on ice-slicked ground makes everything harder. I can hear Vic behind me, his breathing loud in the respirator. Patterson's further back, slipping every few steps. Movement to my left. One of the figures cutting across toward us. He's missing most of his face, jaw completely gone, but he's moving. Arms reaching out. Don't stop. Keep running. We pass track 7. The westbound's gone. Darnell got it out. But the contaminated tanker's still there. TLX 31,549. The leak's worse now. Vapors pouring from the seam, creating this toxic fog that's spreading across the frozen ground. The figure chasing us runs right into it. Stops. Stands there in the middle of the vapor cloud. His remaining skin starts bubbling, melting, but he doesn't fall, doesn't react. Just stands there dissolving while his arms keep reaching for us. We hit track 9. The maintenance engine's right there. The boxcars behind it. The doors still open. I can see dark shapes moving inside them. More figures, more infected. They're not climbing out yet. Just waiting, like they're listening. Don't look at them. Just keep moving. The equipment shed's 30 yards ahead. Steel walls, steel door, no windows. Built to withstand forklift accidents and dropped cargo. If we can get inside, barricade ourselves. Patterson screams. I turn. He's down. Fell on the ice, slid into the gap between 2 rails. His legs caught in the switch mechanism. And one of the figures is right there, right on top of him. It's a woman, or was. Her uniform says, Bridgeport Freight Services. Her entire abdomen is a mass of those dark tumors. She's reaching for Patterson's face. Vic doesn't hesitate. Grabs a switching rod, 6 feet of steel used for throwing track switches, and swings it at her head. Connects with a wet crunch. Her head snaps to the side, neck broken. She keeps reaching. Vic swings again. The rod's leaving dents in her skull, but she's not stopping. Patterson's trying to pull his leg free, thrashing, making it worse. I run back, grab Patterson under the arms. Stop moving. Let me get the switch. The mechanism's frozen, ice-packed into the gears. I kick it. Once, twice. Something cracks. Ice or metal, I can't tell. And the switch releases. Patterson's leg comes free. The woman's got Vic now. Her hands on his hazmat suit, tearing at it. Those tumors on her abdomen are pulsing, growing, about to. Vic, move. He throws himself backward. The woman's abdomen explodes. Projectiles spray across the tracks. I hear them hitting rails, hitting ground, hitting the maintenance engine with metallic pings. One hits Patterson's shoulder, punches clean through his hazmat suit, through his coat, into his flesh. He screams. We drag him toward the equipment shed. The woman's collapsed, but there are more coming now. From track 7, from track 9, from all directions. The shed door, right there. Vic gets it open. We pull Patterson inside. I slam the door shut, throw the deadbolt. Inside. Safe. For now. Patterson's on the floor, clutching his shoulder. There's blood coming through his fingers. Dark blood. Let me see it, I say. No. It's fine. It's just. I pull his hand away. The wound's deep, the projectile's still embedded. I can see part of it sticking out of his shoulder. That same dark, dense tissue. We need to get that out. Don't touch it. Don't. But I'm already reaching for it. My fingers close around the exposed end. It's warm, pulsing, like it's alive. I pull. Comes out with a wet sucking sound. Patterson screams again. The projectile's in my hand now. In my left hand. The one with the cut. I can feel it squirming against my palm. Then it dissolves. Just breaks apart into dark fluid that seeps into my skin. Into the cut. Into me. My palm burns hotter. The burning spreads up my wrist. Into my forearm. I can feel it moving through my veins. Hot. Wrong. Foreign. You touched it, Vic says. You touched the projectile. I had to get it out of him. With your bare hand. With the cut on your palm. Patterson's staring at me. At my hand. You're infected. You're going to turn into one of them. We don't know that. We just watched 30 people turn into walking bombs and you don't think. Shut up and let me think. The equipment sheds may be 20 feet by 20 feet. Steel walls, steel ceiling, one door. Shelves stacked with parts, couplers, brake shoes, signal lights. A workbench along the back wall. Tools everywhere. And 3 of us trapped inside while those things circle outside. My radio crackles. Dispatch, this is Tommy. They're pushing on the maintenance shed door. The latch is bending. I key the mic. How many? I count 5, maybe 6. They're not trying to break in exactly. More like they're leaning against it. All their weight. The door's bowing inward. Can you reinforce it? With what? There's nothing in here except tools and spare ties. Stack the ties against the door. Wedge them in place. That'll take time. The door's already. Hold on. Hold on. One of them's walking away. Through the shed walls I hear it. Then another. They're detonating. Creating projectiles that can punch through steel. Tommy, get away from the door. Now. I'm moving. The radio cuts to static. Tommy? Tommy. Respond. Nothing. Tommy. Patterson. The radio's dead or he's dead. Either way, we can't help him from here. That's my brother out there. And if you go out there, you'll die too. Then you'll get back up and start exploding like the rest of them. I look at my palm. The cut's still bleeding, but the blood's darker now, almost black, and I can feel something under the skin. Not a tumor, not yet, but something moving, growing. How long did it take? From when they got exposed to when they turned? I don't know. We don't even know how they got exposed. The tanker leak has to be TLX 31549. Whatever chemical was in there, chlorine trifluoride. I checked the manifest. Chlorine trifluoride doesn't do this. Doesn't make people's blood turn into grenades. He's right. Chlorine compounds burn, corrode, poison. They don't create biological weapons that keep moving after their hosts are dead. The manifest could be wrong, I say. Corporate falsifies shipping documents all the time to avoid hazmat fees. So what was really in that tanker? Something from Bridgeport. Something that leaked at the Harrisburg inspection point. Something bad enough that corporate routed it through our yard instead of taking it through populated areas. Patterson laughs. It's not a healthy sound. They didn't route it around populated areas. They just picked a different populated area. Our town. 800 people downwind. The wind's blowing east. Away from residential. For now. What happens when it shifts? I don't have an answer. My radio crackles back to life. Dispatch. This is Tommy. What happened? They blew holes in the door. 3 holes. Big ones. But they stopped. They're just standing outside now. I can see them through the holes. They're staring at me. Don't let them see you moving. Stay still. Why would that matter? I don't know. But they stopped when they could have kept going. Like they're waiting for something. Vic's at the workbench pulling out tools. A socket wrench. Pry bar. We need a plan. We can't stay here forever. The hazmat team from Pittsburgh is 3 hours away minimum. We'll be dead or infected by then. Then what do you suggest? We kill the source. TLX 31549. That tanker's still leaking. Still contaminating the yard. We stop the leak. Maybe we stop the spread. Patterson. That tanker's surrounded by those things. And the vapor cloud's getting bigger. You saw what it did to that guy's skin. So we wear the hazmat suits. Approach from upwind. Seal the leak. With what? Duct tape and prayers. With the emergency containment kit. It's rated for chlorine compounds. There's a polymer sealant that hardens on contact. That's for normal chemical leaks. This isn't normal. I look at my hand again. The dark blood stopped flowing. The wound's closing. Scabbing over with something that doesn't look like a normal scab. Too dark. Too thick. And the burning's moving up past my elbow now. How long do I have? Before I turn? Vic and Patterson look at each other. Neither answers. Best guess. How long? Vic. The people we saw, they were already turned. We don't know how long the process takes. But you have a theory. Hours. Maybe less. That projectile dissolved into your bloodstream. Whatever's in it is spreading fast. Then we have to move now, before I become a liability. You're already a liability, Patterson says. You're infected. You're going to turn into one of them. And when you do, you're going to explode and kill both of us. Not if we seal the tanker first. Not if we stop the source. You keep saying that like it's possible. Like we're not 3 railroad workers trapped in a shed with no backup, no plan, and a yard full of walking corpses. Then what's your plan? Wait here until we starve. Until the hazmat team shows up and finds 3 more infected bodies. He doesn't answer. My radio. Dispatch, this is engine 4401. I'm about 2 miles east of the yard now, but I'm getting pressure warnings from the tanker string. Something's building up in TILX 31549. The leak's not releasing fast enough. The pressure inside is increasing. Can you vent it? Not without stopping the train and manually opening the pressure relief valve. And I'm not going anywhere near that tanker. What happens if the pressure keeps building? Eventually, catastrophic rupture. The whole tanker explodes. Releases everything inside in one massive cloud. I look at Vic. How big would that cloud be? Depends on what's inside. If it's really chlorine trifluoride, 2,000 gallons under pressure, wind carrying it east. How far east? Millbrook, Riverside Crossing, maybe as far as Henderson. That's 12,000 people. 12,000 people exposed to whatever turned 30 railroad workers into biological weapons. Patterson sees my face. We can't stop it. Even if we seal the leak, the pressure's still building. The tanker's going to rupture no matter what we do. Then we vent it. Controlled release. Small amounts at a time instead of one massive explosion. That still means going out there. Through them. Yeah, it does. Vic's looking at the tools on the workbench. The pressure relief valves on top of the tanker. We need to climb up there. While those things are swarming below. While the vapor's eating through our suits. The suits are rated for chlorine exposure. For 15 minutes. Maybe 20. After that, the seals fail. We breathe it in. We get exposed. So we have 15 minutes to climb the tanker. Open the valve and get clear. That's not enough time. It's the time we have. Patterson's shaking his head. This is insane. You're asking us to climb a leaking chemical tanker surrounded by exploding zombies so we can manually vent toxic gas into the atmosphere. And you're infected. You could turn any minute. If I turn, you leave me. Focus on the valve. If you turn while you're on the tanker, you'll explode and rupture the whole thing. Game over. He's right, but I don't see another option. My radio. Dispatch, the pressure's still climbing. I'm reading 180 psi. Normal operating pressure is 120. If it hits 250, the safety systems fail. How long until 250? At current rate, maybe 40 minutes. I check my watch, which means we have until 4:27 before the tanker explodes. Before 12,000 people get exposed. Before my brother, assuming he's still alive in that maintenance shed, gets hit by a toxic cloud that turns people into walking bombs. We're doing this, I say. Both of you. We climb that tanker, we vent the pressure, we buy time for the hazmat team to arrive and actually contain this.
Big note slowly.
Okay. What about Tommy? Tommy stays where he is. He's safer there than out here. Those things broke through his door. They stopped. They're watching him, not attacking. Maybe because he's not moving. Maybe because they're waiting for something. Either way, he's safer staying put. Patterson. And if he's not, if they decide to finish the job, then there's nothing we can do for him from here anyway. It's cold. Practical. The kind of calculation I've made 100 times in this job, which track to prioritize, which shipment gets delayed, which safety check can wait until morning. Railroad work is constant triage. You can't save everything. You pick what matters most and you hope the rest holds together. Except now it's my brother I'm leaving behind. Patterson sees my face. You want to go get him. That's what you really want. What I want doesn't matter. The math matters. Tommy's one person. Relatively safe. Millbrook and Riverside Crossing are 12,000 people. About to be exposed. We go for Tommy, those 12,000 people die. They might die anyway. Then at least we tried. Vic's checking the hazmat suits. These are compromised. Mine has tears from when that woman grabbed me. Patterson's has a hole in the shoulder. Yours has the torn glove. We patch them. Duct tape. Sealant. Whatever we can find. That won't hold for 15 minutes under chemical exposure. Then we work fast. I stand up. The burning's past my shoulder now, creeping toward my chest. I can feel my heartbeat. Too fast, too hard, like there's extra pressure in my veins, like something's building. Let's move before I change my mind. We spend 5 minutes patching the suits. Duct tape over the tears. Liquid sealant, the same stuff we use for hydraulic lines, over the duct tape. It's not good, but it's what we have. Patterson's suit is the worst. The shoulder hole's too big, the projectile punched clean through. We pack it with gauze first, then tape over that. He winces the whole time. Hurts. Burns. Like yours probably does. You got hit directly. I just got contaminated through a cut. You're further along. Great, so I'll turn first. That's comforting. Vic's at the door, listening. I count at least 8 of them outside. Maybe more. They're not attacking the shed. Just standing around it, like they're waiting. For what? For us to come out? Or for something else to arrive? My radio crackles. Dispatch, pressures at 210 psi. This tanker's going to blow. I key the mic, we're moving now. Stay clear of the yard. If this goes bad, you get that train as far from populated areas as possible. Copy that. Good luck. I look at Vic and Patterson. 2 men I work with. One I trust. One I don't. Both about to risk their lives because I'm asking them to. If I turn before we finish this, we know, Vic says. Leave you behind. Complete the mission. Not just leave me. If I'm on that tanker when I turn, I'll rupture it. You'll need to stop me. Before that happens. Patterson pulls a pipe wrench from the tool bench. I can do that. Make sure. We open the door. The freezing rains turn to sleet. Feels like getting hit with gravel. The infected are exactly where Vic said. 8 of them standing in a loose circle around the equipment shed. They turn when we emerge. That same jerky motion. All at once. None of them move toward us. They just stand there, watching. Why aren't they attacking? Patterson whispers. Don't know. Don't care. Move toward track 7. Slow. We start walking. The infected track us with their eyes but don't follow. Their bodies are covered in those dark masses now. Dozens of tumors bulging under skin that's gone gray and dead. Some of them are missing limbs. One's got a hole in his chest the size of a basketball. But they're all standing, all watching. We're 20 feet from the circle when one of them takes a step forward. Stop, I say. We freeze. The infected stops too. Tilts his head, wrong angle, neck broken, and just stares. He's testing us, Vic says, seeing if we'll run. What happens if we run? Then they chase, and we don't make it to the tanker. So we walk, steady, like we belong here. We keep moving. The infected stays where he is. The others shift position, creating a gap in the circle, like they're letting us through. We pass within 5 feet of one. She's wearing a Bridgeport uniform. Her name tag says Delilah. Her entire face is covered in masses. Eyes bulging, jaw distended. But she doesn't move, just watches us pass. Track 7's ahead. TLX 31549 sitting there in the sleet. The leak's worse now. Vapor pouring from the seam, creating a fog bank that's spreading across the frozen ground. The chemical smell cuts through my respirator. Sharp, acidic, wrong. My radio. Dispatch. Pressure's at 230 psi. You've got maybe 15 minutes before catastrophic failure. Copy that. We approach the tanker from upwind. The vapor's thicker here. I can barely see 10 feet ahead. The hazmat suit seals are already starting to fail. I can feel cold air leaking in around my wrist, around the torn glove. Ladders on the far side, Vic says. We need to circle around. We move along the tanker's length. It's 50 feet long, 12 feet high. The ladder runs up the curved side to the top platform where the pressure relief valve sits. I can see it from here. A manual wheel valve, painted red, probably hasn't been opened in years. Might be rusted shut. We reach the ladder. The rungs are coated in ice. The vapor's eating through the metal. I can see pitting, corrosion spreading in real time. I'll go first, I say. Vic, you're second. Patterson, you watch for. Patterson's staring at his hand. His right hand. There's something moving under the skin. A dark mass. Growing. Patterson. I can feel it. Inside. It's spreading. How long? I don't know. Minutes. Maybe less. Vic. Then you stay down here. Keep watch. We'll handle the valve.
No.
No, if I'm turning, I need to be useful while I can. I'll climb. I'll help with the valve. If you turn on that ladder, then I fall off and explode on the ground instead of up top. Better than sitting here waiting. I look at Vic. He nods. Okay. Patterson's second. Vic, you're third. If either of us shows signs of turning, you get the hell away from the tanker. Clear. Clear. I grab the first rung. The ice breaks under my glove. I climb. Each rung is a gamble. Will it hold? Will it break? Will my suit tear on the corroded metal? The vapor's everywhere now. I can taste it through the respirator. Chemical tang coating my tongue. Halfway up, I look down. Patterson's climbing below me, moving slow. His right arm's not working right. The masses under his skin are affecting the muscles. Vic's at the bottom of the ladder, waiting his turn. And beyond them, through the vapor fog, I can see more infected. Dozens of them, surrounding the tanker, not moving, just standing there in the sleet, waiting. I reach the top platform. This may be 4 feet by 4 feet. Grated metal, ice-coated, slippery as hell. The pressure relief valves in the center red wheel may be 2 feet in diameter. There's a warning placard, authorized personnel only. Hazardous pressure release. I grab the wheel, try to turn it. It doesn't move. It's stuck. I call down. Patterson reaches the platform. His breathing's wrong, too fast, too shallow. Leverage. We need leverage. He's right. The wheel's been closed under pressure for years. Needs more force than one person can provide. Vic climbs up. The three of us on this tiny platform, surrounded by toxic vapor, standing on top of a pressurized tanker that's about to explode. On 3, I say. All of us turn. 1, 2, 3. We turn. The wheel groans but doesn't budge. Again. Harder. We try again. My palms burning, the infection spreading through my chest now. I can feel my heartbeat in places I shouldn't feel it. In my neck, my jaw, behind my eyes. The wheel moves. Half an inch. It's working. Keep going. We turn again. The wheel rotates. Slowly. Grudgingly. Each quarter turn releasing a scream of metal-on-metal friction. 1 full rotation. 2, 3. Gas starts hissing out. Not the leak vapor. This is different. Pressurized. Concentrated. It shoots out of the valve in a jet. Disperses into the air above us. Keep going. We need it wide open. 4 rotations. 5. The hissing becomes a roar. I can see the pressure gauge on the valve housing. It's dropping. 230 psi. 220. 210. My radio. Dispatch, I'm reading pressure decrease. Whatever you're doing, it's working. Patterson collapses, just drops onto the platform. His right arm's completely covered in masses now. They're moving, pulsing, growing so fast I can see them expanding. Patterson! He looks up at me. His eyes are bloodshot, completely red, blood streaming from his nose. Get away from me, both of you. Get. Not yet. Help us finish this. Just a few more turns. I can't. My arm. I can't feel it anymore. Vic grabs the wheel. Then we do it without you. We turn. 6 rotations. 7. The pressure gauge drops below 200. Below 180. Patterson's convulsing now. His whole body shaking. The masses are everywhere. Arms, legs, chest, face. His skin splitting. Dark fluid leaking out. We need to go, Vic says. Now. 1 more rotation. Get it to 150. He's about to. Patterson screams. It's not a human sound. This wet, gurgling wrong. One of the masses on his chest splits open. A projectile fires straight up. Misses my head by inches. Punches through the vapor cloud above us. Go! Vic's already moving toward the ladder. I'm right behind him. Patterson's on the platform behind us. Still convulsing. Still screaming. More masses splitting. More projectiles firing in every direction. I'm halfway down the ladder when Patterson's entire torso explodes. The platform disintegrates. Metal shrapnel and biological projectiles spray outward in a sphere. I feel impacts against my suit. Punctures, tears. Something hits my shoulder. Another clips my helmet. I fall. 10 feet. Land on my back on frozen ground. All the air slams out of my lungs. Can't breathe. Can't move. Vic lands beside me. He got further down, only fell 5 feet. He's up in seconds, dragging me away from the tanker. Come on. Move. Move. I'm trying. Everything hurts. My suit's torn in a dozen places. I can feel the vapor getting in, burning my skin. We're 20 feet from the tanker when the infected start moving. All of them, at once. Not toward us. Toward track 11. Toward Tommy.
No.
My radio's on the ground. Smashed in the fall. I can't warn him. Can't tell him they're coming. Vic sees my face. There's nothing we can do. The valve's open. Pressure's dropping. We did what we came to do. That's my brother out there. And there are 20 infected between us and him. You go after him, you die. You die. 12,000 people die when no one's left to coordinate the hazmat response. I'm already infected. I'm going to die anyway. Not yet. You're not turned yet. You've still got time. I look at my hands. The masses are visible now, under the skin of both palms. Small ones, but growing. I can feel them in my forearms. My biceps, working their way toward my core. How much time? I don't know. An hour. Maybe less. The infected are moving toward track 11 in a group. 20 of them. Maybe more. They're not running. Just that same relentless walk. And Tommy's in that maintenance shed with a door that's already compromised. No radio. No way to know they're coming. I have to go, I say. You'll die. If I don't go, he dies. He might be dead already. Then I'll know. Vic grabs my arm. Listen to me. You go after him, you don't come back. Best case, you get him out and you both die to that vapor exposure. Worst case, you turn before you reach him and you kill him yourself. He's my brother. He's one person. There are 12,000 people downwind. Fuck the 12,000 people. I'm going. Vic's face behind the respirator. I can't read his expression. Can't tell if he understands or thinks I'm insane. Okay, he says. Okay, but I'm not going with you. Someone needs to stay here. Coordinate with the hazmat team when they arrive. Make sure they know about the infected, about the contamination spread. I know. And if you turn before you reach him, I'll stay away. I won't let myself get close if I'm turning. You won't have a choice. That's not how it works. You'll lose control. You'll become one of them. He's right. I know he's right. But Tommy's in that shed. My little brother. The kid I taught to fish when he was 8. The kid who followed me into railroad work because he looked up to me. The kid who's about to die because corporate routed a contaminated tanker through our yard and I didn't stop it. Give me your radio, I say. Vic hands it over. What are you going to do? I'm going to get my brother. I'm going to get him out of that shed. And then, I don't finish. Don't need to. Vic knows. The pipe wrench, he says. From the equipment shed. You'll need it. For the infected? For yourself. When you turn. It's faster than waiting for the explosion. He runs back to the shed. Comes back with the wrench. 4 feet of steel. Heavy enough to crack a skull. I take it. Good luck, Vic says. Yeah. I start walking toward track 11. The infected are ahead of me. I can see them through the sleet and vapor. They're moving faster now. Not running, but faster than before. Like they can sense something. Like they know Tommy's there. I'm running. My suit's compromised. Vapors getting in every breath. I can taste the chemical burn in my lungs. The masses under my skin are growing faster now. I can see them. Dark bulges on my forearms, my biceps. Feel them in my chest. Around my heart. Track 11's 200 yards away. The infected are halfway there. I'm not gonna make it in time. My radio, Vic's radio, crackles. Anyone on this frequency? This is Tommy. They're breaking through the door. There. Static. I run harder. The masses in my chest are pulsing now. I can feel them pressing against my ribs, against my lungs, making it hard to breathe, hard to run. 100 yards. The infected reach the maintenance shed, start swarming it, pushing on the door, ripping at the metal walls. 50 yards. I see Tommy through one of the holes in the door. He's backed into the corner, holding a railroad spike like a weapon. His eyes find mine through the vapor and sleet. He mouths something. Can't hear it. But I read his lips. Don't. 20 yards. The shed door breaks. The infected pour inside. Tommy swings the spike. Catches one in the head. It doesn't stop. Grabs him. More pylon. Pulling him down. I'm there. In the shed. Swinging the pipe wrench. Connecting with skulls, with limbs. The infected turn toward me. Some of them detach from Tommy to face this new threat. Tommy's on the ground, bleeding from a dozen places where they grabbed him, tore him, but he's alive, still moving. Get up. Come on. He tries. Can't. His leg's broken. I can see the bone through the torn pants. I grab him, haul him up. He screams. We have to move. I can't. My leg. I'll carry you. I get him over my shoulder. He's smaller than me, lighter, but the masses in my chest are huge now, pressing on everything, making every breath agony. The infected follow us out of the shed. 10 of them, more coming from other parts of the yard. I run, or try to. It's more like a stumbling walk. Tommy over my shoulder, pipe wrench in my other hand, every step sending pain through my chest. Put me down, Tommy says. You can't carry me and fight them. I'm not leaving you. You're infected. I can see it. Your neck. There are masses. I know. Put me down. Save yourself. Shut up. We're 50 yards from the equipment shed, where Vic's waiting, where there's medical supplies, where maybe we can do something about Tommy's leg before the hazmat team arrives. The infected are gaining on us. I can hear them behind us, that wet clicking sound they make. Getting closer, my chest explodes with pain. Not an explosion, not yet, but close. The masses are huge now. I can feel them pressing against my sternum, against my spine, about to burst. Tommy, yeah, I need you to listen to me. In about 30 seconds, I'm going to turn. When I do, I need you to run. Don't look back. Just run for the equipment shed. Vic will help you. I can't run. My leg. Then crawl. Drag yourself. I don't care. But you don't stay near me. I'm not leaving you. You don't have a choice. The equipment shed's 30 yards away. 20. The pain in my chest is unbearable. I can feel the masses swelling, preparing to burst. 15 yards. I set Tommy down. He collapses, tries to stand. Can't. Go. Not without you. The masses burst. I feel them split open. Feel the projectiles firing outward from my chest, from my arms, from everywhere. But I'm still me, still conscious, still in control. For now, I look down. My chest is open, holes everywhere. I should be dead, should be on the ground bleeding out. But I'm standing. I'm still standing. And the infected are right behind us. I turn to face them, pipe wrench in my hand. My body's destroyed, but I'm still moving, still fighting, because that's what you do for family. The first infected reaches me. I swing the wrench, connect with his skull. He drops. Another takes his place. I swing again. My body's tearing apart with each movement. More masses bursting, more projectiles firing, but I keep swinging. Tommy's crawling toward the equipment shed. Slow, too slow. More infected. 5 of them. 10. Swarming over me. I can't fight them all. Can't stop them. But I can give Tommy time. I drop the wrench. Grab 2 of the infected. Pull them close. The masses on my torso are about to burst. I can feel it. Feel the pressure building to critical. Tommy, get down. He drops flat. My entire torso explodes. The blast tears through the infected surrounding me, through the ones chasing Tommy, projectiles flying in every direction. I see one punch through a boxcar. Another hit the ground near Tommy's head. Close, too close, but he's down, he's safe. I'm on the ground now. What's left of me? I can't feel my legs. Can't feel anything below my chest. My vision's going gray, but Tommy's moving, crawling, making it to the equipment shed. Vic's there, pulling him inside, looking back at me. I try to say something. Can't. My throat's gone. Everything's gone. But Tommy's safe. That's enough. The gray turns to black. Tommy's telling the story to the federal investigators. 3rd time this week. They keep asking the same questions. Keep writing down the same answers. Like repetition will change what happened. I'm in the observation room, watching through one-way glass. They don't let me in the interview room anymore. Not since I grabbed Agent Kellerman by the throat during the first deposition. Not since I told them exactly what I thought about their response time, their protocols, their excuses. And your brother, Agent Reese says. When did you last see him? He was on the ground, near track 11. What was left of him? What do you mean, what was left? His chest was gone, blown out. I could see spine, ribs. He was still moving his mouth, trying to talk, but nothing came out. Tommy's voice is flat. He's told this story so many times it doesn't sound real anymore. Sounds like he's reading from a script, someone else's script. And he was still alive at that point? I don't know. His eyes were open, looking at me, but I don't know if he was alive or if he was like them, like the infected. But he didn't attack you.
No.
He didn't attack me. Agent Reese writes something down. The medical examiner's report indicates your brother's body showed signs of advanced biological contamination, the same mutations found in the other infected individuals. but the timeline doesn't match typical progression rates. What does that mean? It means your brother should have fully turned within 15 minutes of exposure. But according to your statement, he maintained cognitive function for at least 40 minutes. He carried you to safety, fought off multiple infected individuals, made conscious decisions. Tommy doesn't respond. We're trying to understand how that's possible. Agent Reese continues. If there's some factor that slowed the progression, some resistance mechanism, ask the company. They're the ones who shipped the tanker. They know what was in it. We've been in contact with Bridgeport Freight Services. Their records indicate TILX 31549 was carrying chlorine trifluoride. Standard industrial chemical. Common in rail transport. That's bullshit. Chlorine doesn't do what I saw. The manifest has been verified. The manifest was falsified. My brother told me. The company routed that tanker through our yard specifically because it failed inspection at Harrisburg. They knew it was leaking. They knew what was inside. Do you have proof of that? My brother's the proof. Patterson's the proof. 30 dead railroad workers are the proof. Agent Reese closes his folder. Thank you for your cooperation, Mr. Castellano. We may have follow-up questions. You've asked your questions 3 times already. You going to do anything with the answers? We're conducting a thorough investigation. It's been 8 weeks. You've investigated. Now what? When do you arrest the people who did this? That's not within our jurisdiction. We're gathering evidence for potential federal charges. Potential? Yes. Tommy stands up. His legs still in a brace, the break never healed right. He limps toward the door. Reese doesn't stop him. I meet him in the hallway outside. He doesn't look at me. Same questions, he says. Same answers. They're not going to do anything. The company's not going to face charges. No one's going to pay for what happened. I know. We walk to the parking lot. Tommy's driving now, had to relearn with the leg. Takes him twice as long to get anywhere. He refuses to take disability. Refuses to quit the railroad. Goes back to that yard every night and does track maintenance like nothing happened. I asked him once why he keeps going back. He said, because if I stop, that means they won. I don't know who they are. The company. The investigators. The thing that killed me. I'm in the truck bed. That's where I ride now. In the open air. Windows down doesn't cut it anymore. Tommy can't handle being in an enclosed space with me for more than a few minutes. Says the smell makes him sick. Says it reminds him. The smell's gotten worse. Decay. Rot. Chemical burn. All of it. My body's still breaking down. Still falling apart in slow motion. The masses never fully burst. They're still there, under my skin. Dormant. Waiting. The doctors don't understand it. Neither do the federal investigators. I'm technically dead. Body temperature matches ambient air. But I'm conscious. Moving. Talking. They've run every test. CT scans. MRIs. Tissue samples. All they know is that the contamination changed something fundamental. Something they don't have vocabulary for yet. I'm quarantined at the rail yard. They built a containment unit in the old dispatcher's office, steel walls, filtered air, decontamination shower. I'm not allowed to leave. Not allowed contact with anyone except medical personnel in hazmat suits. Tommy visits twice a week. Stands on the other side of the glass partition. We talk through an intercom. Last week he asked me if I remember dying. I told him yes. I remember every second. The pain. The feeling of my chest splitting open. The projectiles tearing through me. Watching him crawl away while I bled out on frozen ground. I remember going dark. And then coming back. Not alive. Something else. The yard's different now. Still operational. The company fought to keep it open. Said shutting down would cost jobs and disrupt supply chains. Federal authorities agreed. Business as usual. Except they removed Track 7 entirely. Tore up the rails. Dug up 6 feet of contaminated soil. Sealed it in drums that went somewhere I'm not cleared to know about. Track 11's still there. Tommy works it every night. I can see it from my containment unit window. Can see the exact spot where I died. There's a dark stain on the ground, where my blood pooled, or what used to be blood. They tried to clean it, power washed the concrete, brought in chemical solvents, but the stain keeps coming back, like it's soaking up from below, like it's still spreading. Vic transferred to another yard, Cincinnati, put in for it 3 days after the incident. Didn't say goodbye, just submitted the paperwork and left. I don't blame him. He watched me die, watched me get back up. That does something to a person. Patterson's family sued the company. Wrongful death. They settled out of court. Non-disclosure agreement. His widow took the money and moved to Florida with their kids. I don't know how much she got. Enough that she doesn't have to work, probably. Enough that she can pretend her husband didn't explode in a rail yard at 3 in the morning because corporate falsified a shipping manifest. Darnell retired. Took early pension. 73 years old and he's done. Said he couldn't get back in a locomotive cab. Couldn't look at a tanker car without seeing that night. The company issued new safety protocols. Updated hazmat training. Installed better vapor detection systems. All the things they should have done before. All the things that don't matter anymore because I'm still here. Still contaminated. Still not quite dead. Tommy's at my window now. It's 11 p.m. His shift starts in an hour. He comes by before work every night. Talks for 20 minutes. Then leaves. They're bringing in a new tanker tomorrow, he says through the intercom. ILX series. Corporate says it's been inspected. Fully certified. You believe that?
No.
You going to refuse the shipment? On what grounds? The company says it's safe. The federal certification says it's safe. What am I supposed to do? Tell them I don't trust it because my dead brother has a bad feeling. I'm not dead. You're not alive either. He's right. I'm not. I'm this thing in between. Conscious. Aware. But not breathing. Not living. Just persisting. How's the leg? Ask. Hurts. Always hurts. Doctor says the bone fragments didn't set right. Says I'll probably limp the rest of my life. You could get surgery. I could get a lot of things. I could quit this job. Move somewhere else. Start over. But I don't. Because you're here. Because someone needs to make sure they don't fuck up again. That's not your responsibility. Yes, it is. You died for me. You turned yourself into that so I could get away. I owe you. You don't owe me anything. I owe you everything. And I hate you for it. He's never said that before. Never been that direct. I hate you for choosing me, he continues. For saving me instead of the 12,000 people downwind. For making me live with that choice. Every day I wake up knowing that thousands of people could be dead because you picked me instead. They're not dead. The hazmat team contained it. Because you got lucky. Because Vic opened that valve. Because the wind didn't shift. But you didn't know any of that when you came for me. You just knew you were choosing one person over 12,000. And you chose me. You're my brother. I know. That's what makes it worse. You didn't save me because it was right. You saved me because you loved me. And now I have to live with knowing that love almost killed 12,000 people. Tommy, I see you every time I close my eyes. I see you on the ground with your chest blown open. Still trying to protect me. Still dying for me. And I hate you for that. For making that memory the last thing I have of you. He's crying now. First time I've seen him cry since the incident. I wish you'd let me die, he says. I wish you'd chosen the 12,000 people. Because then I wouldn't have to see you like this. In that fucking containment cell. Not alive, not dead. Just existing. Just rotting. Don't be sorry. You made your choice. Now we both live with it. He wipes his face. I need to go. Shift starts soon. Tommy, wait. But he's already walking away, limping across the parking lot to his truck. He doesn't look back. I watch him drive off. Watch his taillights disappear down the access road. Then I look at my hands. The masses are still there. Under the skin. Dormant but present. The doctors say they could activate again. Could explode at any time. They don't know what triggers it. Don't know how to stop it. So I stay here. In this containment cell. In this rail yard. watching tankers roll through every night, watching Tommy work track 11, watching the dark stain on the concrete where I died. The federal investigation will conclude in 3 months. They'll issue a report, make recommendations. The company will pay a fine, update their protocols, and nothing will change because the math's already been done. The cost-benefit analysis. It's cheaper to pay settlements and fines than to properly inspect every tanker. Cheaper to falsify manifests than to dispose of contaminated chemicals correctly. Cheaper to let people die than to do things right. Randy never came back, never called. No one's seen him since that night. His house in Bridgeport is abandoned. His personnel files been sealed by federal order. Whatever he knew, whatever he was told to do, it's classified now. I think about that sometimes. About Randy somewhere out there, maybe dead, maybe infected like me, maybe just living under a new name in a new town, pretending he didn't help kill 30 people. The intercom crackles. Medical personnel. Time for daily observation. I step into the decontamination chamber. Strip down. Let them take their samples. Take their readings. Write down their notes. They're learning things about the contamination, about what it does to human tissue at the cellular level. They're writing papers, making discoveries, advancing science, all because I touched contaminated blood with my bare hand. All because corporate routed a leaking tanker through our yard. All because I chose my brother over 12,000 strangers. The observation finishes. I dress, go back to my cell. Through the window, I can see track 11. Tommy's out there now, replacing ties. Same work he was doing the night everything went wrong. Same work he does every night. He never looks at my window, never acknowledges that I'm watching. Just works, bolts down ties, checks rails, does his job, and I watch him from this containment cell, this prison made of steel and glass and guilt, because that's all I have now. Watching, existing, remembering the moment my chest exploded and I could still see him crawling away, could still see him making it to safety, could still know I'd saved him. That's the thought that repeats. Every hour, every day, every endless night in this cell. I saved him, and I'd do it again, even knowing what I know now, even knowing he hates me for it, even knowing I'm this thing, this not dead contaminated failure, stuck in a rail yard watching tankers roll through while my brother limps around track 11 and the federal government writes reports that won't change anything. I still choose him. I'd always choose him. That's what makes this hell. Not the containment, not the rot, not the masses under my skin waiting to explode. The knowledge that I made the wrong choice, the selfish choice, the human choice, and I can't regret it. Can't wish I'd chosen differently. Can't be the person who would sacrifice his brother for 12,000 strangers. So I stay here, in this cell, watching Tommy work, watching tankers leak, watching that dark stain spread across the concrete, watching everything I destroyed by choosing love over math. The intercom's quiet now. The yard's quiet, just the sound of sleet hitting the window. Same freezing rain that was falling that night. Falls every night. Will probably fall every night forever. I press my hand against the glass. The contaminated hand. The one that started everything. Tommy's still out there. Still working. Still alive because I chose him. Still hating me for it. That's enough. It has to be.